Hi everybody and welcome to Solo Chogokin and Z! Boom! Yeah! Waiting for the release of the Grendizer GX76X3 DC Dynamic Classic that is all the support vehicle in a single box. Oh yeah! Special edition Tameshi Web. We will go and see in the 2 episodes all the vehicles of the Grendizer in a mega battle between the vehicles of the GX04 and those of the GX76 DC Dynamic Classic. And we will see which of those are the best. As we have seen of the mega battle of Grendizer, the result is not that obvious. If you missed the episode, I suggest to go and watch it. However, today we will start with the Spacer, Double Spacer and the Koji TF4, which are in the GX04 and the GX76X DC Dynamic Classic. In a battle of the last vehicle. Grendizer Go! Here we are at the box, Solo Chogokin, GX04. Ufotable Grendizer. Here we have the logo of the anime. And here, Bandai logo. Here, the classic phrase, an adult with the soul of a kid. Here we tell you the robot is not suitable for under 15 years old. Beautiful box, bigger. The product is in the cover. Grendizer is in the cover with a double spacer. So we already talk about the second season of Grendizer. Double spacer we have here, and here Grendizer inside the spacer, and here the TFO. Bandai 2000 it was released in 2000. Let's see, top and bottom. Bottom we have a nice image of Grendizer with a double Haken, and here all contents inside the box. Goldrake, spacer, double spacer, a TFO. Other side, exactly the same things. Left or right, we have just the name for Grendizer, and same things other side. Must say the box is in line with the other model released in the same period, and a big box like for example the GX06. It's a big box. And not like Mazinger's Dead and Great Mazinger, they are a little bit smaller, but the graphics recall that model. Let's turn the box. Grendizer inside the disc in the sequence. You can do it for this. You can do it with this model. Here we have double Haken, and here screw crash punch. Here we have the spacer, and this area you can open it and shoot a spin drill, and here a spin saucer. Here we have the TFO of Koji, a double spacer in landing position, and here the combination cross when the Grendizer combined with a double spacer. Why change the supporter from the disc to this vehicle? Because in one episode Vega find out the time from Grendizer get inside the disc is too long and easy to be hit and damage in that moment. But the combination cross with the double spacer is faster, and at this time it gets shorter and more difficult for bigger attack Grendizer. Here we have a Grendizer on the display, like that, or you can put a Grendizer inside the spacer. Anyway, this was the box, the GX04. Here we are, let's go have a look at the solo Chogokin Grenadier DX spacer set GX76X. Here we have the name and here the model. In the top, solo Chogokin logo, and here the logo of the TV series UFO Grendizer. And here the logo Tameshi Nation logo and Bandai logo. Cover style DC, of course, beautiful. We have the spacer close with the detail missing, of course, the side fin, because when the spacer fly, the side fin get inside the spacer. We have the TFO Koji, and we have the image here, and double spacer. Also this one, yeah, piloted by Koji. The other side we have Grendizer, beautiful image. I must say all these DC classic look amazing. This cover, the best cover I see. Box huge, very big box, but we're gonna see a little bit better later. In the top we have the name of the product and the Grendizer with the double spacer in the background, and under we have the same things, name and the image of Grendizer with the double spacer is the image we find on the side, right side, but in color. But is also here the spacer. Beautiful image. The other side we have the extension of the frontal cover with a Duke fleet. Here we go, the complete image. Beautiful image, a piece of art, I must say. Let's turn the box and we see a lot of image. The spacer here with the inside the Grendizer. And here double spacer. Here the detail of the spacer, see from behind, and you can see insert Grendizer, and here the several weapons. Here on the display, double spacer and the spacer, or you can connect if you have the GX76 Grendizer and put the robot in front of the spacer, or with a double spacer fly mode. Here double spacer with a different position of the wings with the Grendizer, and here the TFO of Koji. This was the box, and let's go compare with the GX04. Here we are with the box side by side. I must say we put the GX04 compare the GX76 model in the last episode. If the GX04 was huge compared to the GX76, now compared to the GX76, the GX04 is nothing. It's so small, unbelievable. Let's put one on top of each other. Here we go. One finger, finger and a half on the bottom, and two finger on side. A little bit more than two finger, but calculated the GX04 was really huge. GX76X is gigantic. Here we see the contents. We already saw the GX04. We have of course destruction, the disc, the spacer, TFO, double spacer and the robots, and here the several weapon all here. And we have, of course, the display under the box. The GX76X, we have an instruction, the box split in two, but we're going to see it later. The spacer, here you go, you can see it's already bigger. There's some weapons, also here the weapon I would say is under, double spacer, and TFO, and some extra parts for the spacer. Under we have the display. So let's start with instruction. GX04, we already saw it, but let's have a look quickly again for this episode. And the story of the Grendizer, the story of the model, solo Chogokin, the contents, with some parts you had to build yourself like a model kit, the weapons you can find inside the model, the accessory, how put together the model, how put inside Grendizer inside the spacer, and put together the display. That's it. Simple but works. Instruction of GX76X. I remember, just remind you, the cover is the same image of the cover box, just flipping a mix. They are very small instruction, very few pages, like one. Here the standard preparatory of the spacer and double spacer, original version, very nice. And here the making of GX76X, like we saw on a GX76. Here they explain you how the detail come up and the color of the model. Here there is a instruction like the GX76 robot are separate and are A3 split in 4. Here how you put together the spacer, put it on display. Here how put inside the model, adding extra parts. Go inside the spacer, like I said, put in top of the display, and here how to insert with a double spacer. Here for putting double spacer you need to remove the top part, the head of the double spacer, and here is extra parts inside the display, because it's a dynamic classic, so usually there is a part inside. That's it. That was the instruction. Here we are at the display, GX04 all put together. Of course for the GX04 we have already Grendizer robot ready inside the spacer, because it's part of the box, of course. But the GX76X you need to buy separate, but we will still adding later on. The GX04, of course, we had to put together the display. We are the double space and the TFO ready visible. In the GX76X, double spacer is on the display, but TFO is not, have no display. For this configuration we have to remove the double spacer and insert the TFO here. Basically is like It will tell you Koji is piloting one vehicle or piloting the other one. So you can't really put together both in display. Like I said, the GX76X display is a dynamic classic, and it means you have some stuff inside, you open it, but it's not opening in a standard DC classic, but side by side. It's nice, with some extra parts, the end for your Grendizer, and some other extra parts for put together the display. This piece is from double spacer. You need a replace for connected to the display or to the robot. And here, extra pens transparent. We're gonna have a look later on what are for. So display look like a extra piece to another display because it is an extra piece for the other display. For the GX76. Let's have a look the connection between the two display. Here we go. That's the display for the GX76. So you put together like that. Actually, we need to remove this one here. Adding extra piece. Put like that. There we go. Adding this extra piece like that. There we go. And adding this stand up. Remove this one here, and of course these parts are DC classic, so you can remove all these small bits. Let's remove the front one. There we go. Adding this piece and put the GX04 and the spacer. We need an extra piece for put on the display. Here we go. And adding your robot Grendizer. Here we go. That's one configuration. Or remove this and adding double spacer. Or you can remove that and set up in a different way. Here we go like that. So we put a Grendizer connected to the double spacer fly mode, and you can put a TFO and the spacer behind. With the GX04 you can put the robot inside the spacer or stand up to the display. But the GX76X have a several configuration. You can put this one here, like we saw with the robot stand, or the spacer and the Grendizer inside the spacer. Here, Grendizer is a stand on that. Here we go. Here we go to the comparison, and we start with a spacer. The first things jump on your eyes are the difference of the size. Dimension. Daddy spacer and son spacer. So huge. Coloring similar, except here blue is a little bit more brighter in the new one compared to the old one, and here bright blue and the old one all white. Also the other difference of the color is here it's blue with dot red and here white like in the anime. So the new one is more detailed and the color more similar to the anime in this case. Have a look, let's have a look at the functionality. Another thing's nice, but before move that, I won't say both are plastic, made in plastic. There is no metal at all. Maybe the screw. GX76X set are completely in plastic in general, but the spacer, both spacer is the same quantity of metal, equal to 0. Maybe some screw, like I said before. Okay, visually the new one is much nicer. The weapon are completely smooth, and here you can open it and more playful. There you go, this one here you can open like that, like we saw another episode, and throw and insert the drill missile. Another things I really like it of the GX76X are the wing. When the spacer, actually when the robot is not inside the spacer, that side wings or that side fins get removed, they turn it inside, and when the robot Grendizer go back inside the wings, it just reappear. Nice touch. You can do it in a GX76X. It's not possible to do it that's on GX04. You need to remove it. It's more close to fidelity of the TV series. The new is more close to the anime. In the back, the coloring in the new one has more details. There's a little bit, slightly bit different color, a little bit more silver, and the back was all the same brown color. But you can see the new one, the engines are more squared. The old one was more shaped. The point is, sometimes are shaped and sometimes are squared. Anyway, under here missing a piece. A piece you need to remove it and add in if you put on display or remove it from display. There we go. That's more correct. And this one here, you need to close the stand. Okay. Here, the old one has more detail, but the new one is more close to the original anime. I'm gonna see how open the spacer. The old one, just pull out this one here and move left or right this one here and pull down this one here. Very, very nice. For pull out Grendizer. The new one, you don't have the opening here, but just only side. Let's see if I can do it. It's a lot of to open it. There we go. Like that. Let's open it and push inside this one here. If I can do it, it's very hard. There we go. I'll push a little bit more. Come on. There we go. There you go. And you can. And the back, the old one, we just pull up and down. There we go. That's it. and you can insert Grendizer. And there's some details here, like the anime. It's difficult to see, but there's some more details. The old one, the new one, so you need a, come on, there we go, pull this one here and push down, and this one here, pull and move up. There we go, like that. You can see the new one has bigger open, but you know the Grendizer is a bigger too, but there's no details here. Here we have some written Bandai made in China and the series with only 2 parts in metal, the 2 screw. But that's it, there's no detail. Let's insert the 2 Grendizer inside the spacer. Here we are, our Grendizer inside the spacer. It's very nice. Let's put here and let's insert the new Grendizer inside the new spacer in the GX76X. But before, we need to add an extra piece. A small pants for our robot. Here we go. We open here and let's remove the fist and put the one available only inside the display. Here we go. It's the first time I put inside Grendizer inside the spacer. So okay, let's remove these 2. Here we go, and put these pants. Close it. And attach this one there. In the top and make it slide. I need open this one here. Yeah, need open the front. Yeah, let's remove it. Let's open it, of course. There we go. There we go. Too much. At the end of ramp, close the top, and adding this one. Let's jump out. Like that. And we need to add an extra piece to cover here. is an extra piece, is a new one, is an extra piece. The old one was already there. Anyway, there you go. Maybe we pushed too much the model. Too out. There you go. Let's see. Go. And pull up the head. Here we go. We made it. And pull out the side fin, of course. Grendizer inside the spacer. Sure, visually the new is better, more stable. Very nice. The old one smaller, but the old one you don't need adding extra piece for put inside your robot inside the spacer. Let's open this one here. It's nice for stand better. There we go. The new one is heavy inside the disc. It's very nice, actually very nice. We saw the insert of Grendizer, and we're gonna see now some weapon. We can throw the weapon open here in the old one. Yes. The new one you have to remove the disc and insert this one here. Is an extra piece. Must say are more detailed compared to the old one, and it's very sharp, to be honest. So top and the bottom. The old one was just only on the top. Very painful, this one here. Ow. The old one less. The old one was more playful. Everything, the old one was all in the model, not adding any extra piece. If we want drill missile, here we're just adding open and adding a piece, and the new one is one new piece put together. There we go. Again, more close to the anime version, because it was just only 4 and appear a small drill missile. Again, it looked more close to the anime, but you need always adding extra piece. Anyway, that was the spacer. Move on and let's have a look at the double spacer. There we go. Two models, very different, similar but very different. First of all, visually, the GX76X is all in plastic. The old one, GX04, was metal, the center body, and longer. See, a lot longer. There we go. But side wing smaller. The air channel, the new one are smaller, the old one bigger. Both, and the center fin, the new one is smaller. Both they can throw the weapon, a cyclonic boomerang. Here we go. Put together, and you just have the main weapon of the double spacer. Also, The old one is smaller because also the wing also is smaller, the old one. Anyway, that's the only weapon you can use it on this model, of course. The wing, you can bend it and put a correct way for landing or docking. The same things the new model. There we go. Yeah, and when landing, like I said, in the new one, I must say one thing's nice. This one always folding. Okay, the new one, the engine here rotating. The old one was not able to do it. All metal, and these parts are plastic. The new one, all plastic. The engine, the back engine are similar. The new one has a little bit more detail, but it's very difficult to see. It's very strange. In the new one, the wings or end of the wings, engine of the wings are very tiny compared to the old one. There's a proportion very different between these two models. Which one? It look like more the anime is some of the one model and some of the other. For connecting the double spacer with a Grendizer on the GX04 was so easy. Just open the side panel here and extract. Here you go, the magnetic one. Move the wings. It's too much. There you go. And push, pull, and move up. So you make shorter. Go there, do it like that. There you go. Double spacer across like that. Grendizer with double spacer. For the new model, it's a little bit different. GX76X. First one, you need to remove this panel. Okay. And the new, and the old one was just opening. We need remove. I must say also, yeah, you can bend in this one here when the landing, of course. For the cross, double spacer cross, you need to completely remove it and add an extra piece. The shorter, there we go. Open it, panel already open it in this one here, and insert on the back of the model. There you go, like that. That's it. It's a little bit more nice to see. I must say that, yeah, GX76X look a little bit better visually, but as a piece need adding, and is another question. Anyway, so there's the two model. Both models are nice, in my opinion. GX04 are more playful and more immediately for transforming, connecting the vehicles without changing anything or adding anything. this was the double spacer. You can put your robot stand up, you can turn around and see better. Oh, yep, that's happened because it's very heavy. The GX04 is all metal compared the other one. Okay. Let's have a look at the last part of this set. It is TFO Koji UFO. TUFO. Also here, coloring are slightly different and dimension different. In this case, the GX76X disc or TUFO is a smaller and the old one bigger. The coloring are more yellow and the front a little bit more dark. Here the old one is a little bit more violet. I must say the new one coloring look like more the TV series. On the bottom the TV series had these three balls green, the old one yellow, the new one looked like more the anime. Here more blue and there a little bit more that color. The new one definitely look better. The full set GX04 versus GX76X. Here we are at the final comment of this support vehicle battle part 1, dedicated to UFO robot Grendizer between the GX04 of the 2000 and the GX76X Dynamic Classic of 2018. I will give you 1 to 3 points for each category: box, instructions, contents, display, vehicles and cost. Something I didn't add in the previous battle between the robots, but it wouldn't have influenced the final result. Box! Both have a beautiful image in line with the surrounding models, as we have already seen in the previous review. The GX04 in line with the various GX01, 02R and GX06, while the GX76X in line with these various dynamic classic GX70, GX73 and obviously the GX76, and this box is more elegant and modern. I had previously said the GX04 box was enormous compared to the GX76, but the GX76X is of another caliber and more powerful than ever, almost 2 finger largest. So the GX76X takes home the first point. 01. Instructions. The GX04 has a color booklet with interesting contents. In the GX76X, the color booklet is practically a folder sheet and instructions are separate, but these two are a folder A3 sheet. Perhaps in this case it was better put them together. Give how little there in that. GX04 instructions are better. Not a lot, but better. 1 to 1. Contents. We had already seen that GX04 is almost unbeatable. Give the complete of the contents, while the GX76X is not a standalone plug and play. It cannot put on the cabinet without the Grendizer GX76, so very few people will buy or they bought it this model without having the GX76 robot. Having said that, we have 3 vehicles against the GX04, 3 vehicles and a robot. I will give a 2 to 1. We are 3 to 2. Display. GX04, the display is more creative, all the accessories are visible, while in the GX76X it's an extension of an elegant and functional dynamic classic, but which cannot display both double spacer and the TFO at the same times, even with the addition of the display of Grendizer, as if Bandai had decided if you expose double spacer, the TFO disc has been destroyed, like in the anime, and if you expose the TFO, the double spacer hasn't been built up yet. This solution is very strange made by Bandai. However, it must be said that GX04 is also more compact, while the complete display of the GX76, including the X, is gigantic and can be difficult to find a place to display. I will give the GX04 a point, 4-2. Vehicles. There are 18 years between those vehicles, and unlike the models, the vehicles have not improved that much. Spacer. Both in plastic, the new spacer is bigger. In fact, it is gigantic! More accurate in the details of the series and the films, with the more square back part, even if that's one of the GX04 is more beautiful but less truthful to the anime. The color of the GX76X are also here once again more similar to the anime, even if some shades, as are the light blue of the bottom and the blue of the fins, are too intense, but the GX04, these were not even sketchy. I love the removable mini fins in the GX76X, while in the GX04 they are well fixed, but here we don't need to add anything to the models, while whatever we want to do in the GX76X we need to add extra pieces, but in the cabinet these look better. I will say that the GX76X is better, 4-3. Double spacer. The GX04 is made of metal, while the other one is all plastic. In terms of proportion, the GX76X seems too disproportional with the final part of the wings, too large if compared to those of the anime, and a little bit too big also for the films. Also, the coloring is a reactor is not exactly correct. The rotating the lower engine is nice, but also in this vehicle you have to replace a lot of parts if you want put on the display or attached to the robot. If once the parts have been replaced, the vehicle visually works better. In the various cases, while the GX04 is physically present by a little bit, but the GX04 is better, 5-3. TFO, fantastic to see the Koji UFO in both models. The GX76X is smaller but more proportionate in the size with the Grendizer. Also, the colors are the same of the anime and film. The GX76X won, 5-4. Price: the GX04 when it came out in 2000 cost 16,500 yen, around 100 euros, 180 New Zealand dollars, and now it costs 26,000 yen, 160 euros, 290 New Zealand dollars. But it is a completed model without additional cost, while the GX76X when it came out in 2018 cost 13,000 yen without forgetting to add Grendizer, more or less 15,000 yen, totally 28,000 yen, 170 euros, 300 New Zealand dollars. The cost of the two GX76 sets was more or less similar to the cost of the GX04, but today the GX04 still costs 26,000 yen, while the GX76X is more or less at the incredible price of 50,000 yen. Whoa! Woohoo! And the GX76 at 26,000 yen for a total of 76,000 yen, 500 euros, 850 New Zealand dollars. Maybe the price will drop a bit with the release of the GX76X3. Let's see. I will say that in the term of price, the GX04 wins, 6-4. And again, as happened with the robot, the GX04 won as product. But let's analyze in the detail. Packaging, not many people display it, 6-3. Extraction, it is a plus 5 to 3. Display and accessory are important, yes, but in the end you put the model in the display cabinet. 2 to 2. In 2018, with the price they have, I will told you 1 to 2. But today, with the crazy price, it is a draw. So the first battle between the first Grendizer support vehicles ends in a draw. In the second part we are going to see the Marine Spacer and the Drill Spacer GX04X and the GX76X2 for the final battle, always here at Solo Chogokin and Zed!